Hey, everybody. I am here with Business Insights number 40, and I'm super excited because I've actually been following the gentleman here, Andrew, for the last few years, and he runs some phenomenal ads, and he's going to actually share and show you how you can take creative, put it into your business, and ultimately set yourself apart from the competition. But first, let me cue our intro here. Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. All right. What's happening, Andrew? How are you?
Good. Doing well.
Good. Well, I'm excited to have you on. Andrew just got off of a flight, so you've been traveling, all day pretty much today?
Yeah, we were in Florida Keys, and so came back, we'll drive to Miami and then fly back to Dallas.
Okay. So you've been doing a lot of back and forth. Well, I'm glad I was able to get you on. And for everyone that's watching, if you don't know about Monster Agency and what Andrew and his team are doing, you definitely want to take a look here at some of these videos that he's created. And we're going to talk about the creative process, how to separate yourself from your competition through video, but also through leveraging the power of your brand. And I'll let Andrew talk more on that. But first, let me play his video here so you guys can actually see some of the creative that he's putting into his ads now as we speak.
And we're back. I'm here with David and his wife, Martha. Now, David's a small business owner, but he's been having a little trouble getting new business in the door. Is that right, Martha?
Yes. And it's like every month is worse than the last.
No, I'm sure that's frustrating dealing with the partner who's having campaign performance issues. So now, David, is that true, what Martha's saying about your return on ad spend? You can't get it up?
Yeah. No, but...
So now, David, you're filling your funnels, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of.
Hey, friend, shut up. Martha doesn't seem to think so. David, how much you spending every month on Facebook ads?
$2,000 a month.
Now, Dave, where I come from, we call that a cost per moron. Now, David, I want you to look under your chair for me. We've partnered with our friends at the Monster Agency to set you up with a free strategy call with their team of Facebook ad specialists. David, are you ready to commit?
I'm ready, Dr. Phil. I want my family back, and I want my life back.
So we'll have ourselves a little river here. You want to have a nice, beautiful river. You're going to want a mountain, just like that. Want to bring your base all the way down? It's always important to start with a good base. Oh, it's beautiful. Just like that, ever so gently. I've had a lot of stuff in my mind lately. Business isn't going so well. Nobody's buying my paintings. Been trying to get new customers to come in. Haven't been able to. Let's go ahead and turn this upside down. We'll consider this my sales funnel. Okay? Ever so gently. Thank you. So business is going so well, Bills are mounting up quite a bit. What we're going to do is start running our Facebook ad campaigns. Let's just say that this is Jenny's college fund. So we're going to dip a little bit in Jenny's college fund, and we're going to add some nice pretty little customers up at the top here and hope that they come out at the bottom as sales. They start tanking. Now you're in a little bit of a hole. We borrow some money from Frank and Tom, and you got customers going out left and right because you got a broken funnel. But don't pay attention to that, because We got Frank to take out a second mortgage. And as you can see, I'm starting to perspire quite a bit. So we're going to dip into the old 401k. Worked a long time to build this thing up, and it was supposed to last me through my later years, but it's Facebook ads. Let's have a little fun. So just let your imagination run wild with what you think could come of your campaign. We'll just go ahead and fill in these happy little mistakes right here. It's pretty clear and obvious at this point that I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're just cruising along here. Is it hot in here, or is it just me? We just might have hit rock bottom here. There we go. All right, well, as we can see, this is about the end of my art shop. Probably won't be able to keep the doors open too much longer, have a couple more people to pay off, and after that, we'll go ahead and file bankruptcy. And this.
All right. Hey, Andrew. So those are phenomenal. I mean, what was it that inspired the creative for that? I mean, what was it that got you? What was it that got you really into knocking that out? Because I mean, these are really awesome.
We really just kind of find iconic stuff and try and remix it. Essentially, I mean, that's really a good amount of stuff that we do. Is we'll just find stuff that's iconic that resonates with like a 30 to 50-year-old demographic, and we'll roll with it. If you don't know who Bob Ross is, you probably live under a rock and won't understand how to fill out a form on our website. If you don't know who Dr. Phil is, the same kind of thing. But when it comes to coming up with different creative, we'll look at what we can pull off, what we can execute on our own without having to get too crazy with complicated setups, complicated, on location kinds of scenes, without having to hire too many other actors or actresses to come in and do it. So we can just quarterback it, do it, get it done, knock it out, put it up, and start running the ads, and let the data tell us, what does best.
Awesome. I love it. What, out of all the ads that you've done, I mean, because you have so many other ones that you've ran creative wise, what would you say performed the best out of all those creatives that you did, infomercial wise?
Probably the Bob Ross, just in terms of feedback, in terms of conversions and stuff like that. But if they're up and they're live and they're running, they do well. So you'll see a decent amount of them running up on our page, under page transparency and whatnot. But yeah, if they're doing well, then they're running. Just depends on where you'll see them in our funnel.
Love it. What are some things that you would tell to someone who's aspiring to emulate what you guys are doing, or trying to figure out how to, because I mean, I've seen so many video ads, and I'm sure, I do some marketing on my end. I certainly, with what you guys are doing, it is way more, the creative is just through the roof. And do you feel like that creative is what separates people to actually watch the ad? I mean, what would you say is like some things that you?
I think we have a pretty good pattern interruption of just you're scrolling and then you see this kind of just like insane stuff, and so you do want to kind of stop and see what it is, what they're saying, what it's about, and then if you can make it actually funny and comical, to where you're laughing about it, then I mean that gets you kind of more engaged with it and connecting with it, and then from there on out, if you see any other ads from the business, you already know who they are. They live in your head, and that's driving that awareness, and that some of those intangible things that you can't necessarily measure from Facebook ads or Google ads of what the ads are doing, but they're definitely living in people's memory.
Yeah, that's for sure. I remember seeing like the Billy Mays ad a couple years back, and I was like, what in the world is this thing? And going through. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. How did you put yourself in that whole like get up in Dr. Phil? Like that was you, correct? You were literally.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we do any kinds of our, more robust kinds of videos, which we call those hero videos. Mm-hmm. Those can have, I mean, just depending on what the storyboard is, they can require hair, makeup, set design, props. Like, that Billy Mays one was kind of annoying to put together because we had to have so many random props in the background and rags and oranges and just, getting an embroidered shirt and stuff like that. And then, thankfully I have a beard I can grow, and, I darken my hair and all that. But, yeah, I mean, I forget the original question you asked, but.
Oh, no, it's fine. When someone's first starting, though, yeah, and that was a really loaded question. When someone's first getting started and they're looking at their video and they're like, wow, my videos, I mean, to look at your videos and then to look at some other marketing, like, it doesn't even compete. And I mean, with how you guys are leveraging that creative, I mean, there's a lot to it. So I guess really what I was trying to figure out is like, how do you guys plan that? And the first thing you had said, of course, was the storyboard, and then, having basically just detailing everything out. I'm assuming you have a team as well, or is it's not just you, correct? You have people that help you with the creative?
It's me and our creative director, Adam, who helps as well. And so for the most part, a lot of the ideas, I have a thing of notes that I put, concepts and ideas down in, just, when they come to me, and so I don't forget them. I'll keep those in mind. I know Adam does the same thing. And then we'll just kind of spitball when we need some more creative, which one, we feel like we can execute pretty quickly and do pretty quickly. But I mean, if you're somebody who's just running your own ads, it depends. I mean, you can't really, I know the Harmon brothers have a course for it, but for script writing, which can help be more of an architecture behind your concept of what you're writing and help you, I don't know if you've done that, but help you visualize it some so that you can actually execute on it. But I don't know, man, if you're not like a funny person,
right,
it's tough to, go up to open mic night and be like, boy, my arms are tired. I just flew in here from Miami, and, you get crickets. So if you're not like a funny person,
right,
it can be tough trying to emulate that through a video. And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No, it makes total sense. I love that. And what about, so as far as your targeted audience, I know you said you're looking to make videos demographics from 30 to, I think you said it was 30 to 65. Is that, 30 to 50?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that mostly the clientele that looks for services, or what is it normally?
People that are either in positions that they can write the check, or they own their own business and are at a point where, they can write their own check.
Got it. Okay.
So I wouldn't want to market to like an 18-year-old or, somebody who's maybe 75 years old.
Right. Or someone just trying to learn how to do a business and has no idea, and it's a small thing. Do you do mostly like e-com, or do you what do you guys mostly focus on?
I think we're more so niched, I should say, in that we don't have any specific niche, and we'll really take on any client because our approach is really the same for every client. In that, if you've got a brand, you've got a product, whether it's lead generation for services or if it's sales from e-commerce, we approach it in the same manner. And we have a kind of a mantra in that a funnel is a funnel, and no matter who you are, what business you have, if you just simplify it and you stick to that mantra, you won't be as intimidated to take on other people in other spaces, because a lot of people want to niche down because it's easier to template things out and make templates for lawyers or whoever their target demographic is. I can just keep duplicating that stuff out. But if you throw a dentist into the mix, they're like, holy shit, I don't know what to do. I'm at like such a block. But our process is the same for every client that we onboard, whether they're selling shoes, whether you're a lawyer, whether you sell cable cords, whatever it is. And by having that, kind of process down, it makes it a lot easier to work with a lot of people in a lot of different verticals.
Mm-hmm. I see that you guys have done a lot of different videos that go from like one end of the spectrum to super serious. What do you think really performs the best? I mean, is there something in particular that you feel like that person, whatever they're shooting, and I don't know if you've ever seen the videos where people are going like, for example, I've built out videos using I'm blanking on the name now, but I've gone to like different creative. Oh, Envato, where you go, you can like pick little elements to plug and play and put certain things in. Do you feel like it's better to just have face to camera, or what are your thoughts?
I think when you use those stock video types of clips and you put them together, and it's like an office and everybody's like going like this, like they're cheering or something corny, that people kind of have blinders on those, similar to like AdWords, and that years and years and years later, now when you search something on AdWords or on Google, to kind of scroll past the first 3 or 4 or 5 to get what the real true results are, because these other ones are ads. I think a lot of those stock, at least what is for me, maybe it's to stare at the stuff all day, but the stock videos are always just kind of an instant turn off, because I feel like the company went a cheap route in going with stock video. And if they're not invested in good creative, then they're probably a shitty company, because pardon my language, but that's just like, and I can't help the way I think. That's just what I think, like when I see it, just because I know that there wasn't more put into it on the creative side.
No, it makes total sense. And I mean, I've seen a couple of different sides. I've seen people that, doing low budget, low quality things. I mean, certainly you can get some value, I think, out of it, but you've got to have heavy editing. You got to have someone who knows what they're doing. Is that something you guys do? Like, if someone were to provide you some creative, do you guys actually do the editing and help with positioning of ads and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's all that we do. Awesome. I'd say probably like 90% of our clients that come on board with us, we don't put together, explosions and Michael Bay scenes of like helicopter. I mean, it's always, hey, this is what we've got. This is our graphics and our videos that we've got. And we'll take those and we'll repurpose them and we'll make them in a way that they will convert, based on our patterns of what we've done for everybody else. But if they want to go and get creative and do some funny stuff, it works really well. And it's really tough explaining that to business owners or marketing teams, unless they're just flush with cash, because it's very, Facebook ad, run it now. I want to see a result. Did I get any leads today? It's very now versus, you make that creative, you put that investment into your video, which, we start out at like 10 to 15,000 when we're making those videos, like the Dr. Phil one you saw. Those start out at like, 10 to 15,000. But if I think you can see on page transparency, it resets it once you throw them into other campaigns on the dates. But a lot of those ones, and a lot of the ones on my other page for just myself, Andrew Molz, a lot of those videos and those ads have been running for more than a year. And most times you have to recycle that stuff and take it out. But, when your creative is really good, you can run it for a long, long, long time. And it just continues to amplify and stay really positive and help you out. That's why we like using it, because if I had that stock video of somebody going, eventually that thing's going to start to fizzle out and tank. I think the investing in your creative is the easiest way to start seeing some good results, provided you've got a good product market fit. It's not a silver bullet and won't, turn whatever to gold, but
right. I love though how you're like literally taking things that people know, and I mean, you don't really even have to know the shows all that well. Like, I didn't even know the first one I saw Billy Mays. I'm like, what the hell? I've seen this before. I don't know where I've seen this at. And I'm like, that almost looks like the guy too. And like, I'm like watching, I'm like, does this guy sell like a cleaner or something? And like, I watch it all the way through and I'm like, wow. Like I go back and I'm like, I'll watch this again. And it's like, I literally watch it a couple of times. Like, oh, that's what he does. He's selling it. Like I was watching, like you guys actually, you're dropping, marketing items, you're dropping in marketing terminology, which a lot of times people hear that and they're like, what the hell is cost per this and cost per million or like, I don't know what any of that stands for. And they're sitting there and they're listening to it. And it's like, you're almost making it where they can relate to it. And I think with you making it relatable, making it creative and giving people that element, it makes a huge difference. How'd you stumble into all this? That's the $1 million question. Like, what got you started on all this?
I've always had my own businesses and my own ventures ever since like the late 2000s. 2008, I was a realtor here in Dallas area, and that was right when the credit collapse happened, the financial stuff. And so I quickly had to pivot out of being real estate and go back into healthcare marketing, which is what I had done previously, and that was more so pounding the pavement. with healthcare and going to different doctor's offices and all that stuff. Basically, what a pharmaceutical rep would do. But in doing those kinds of jobs, they were always, quote unquote jobs. And, you sit there and you calculate how much you're earning every hour, and you're like, man, I could do so much different stuff and earn. And so then you start, trying to do different businesses, find out what you're good at, find out what you can, get traction with so that you can not have some sort of 9-to-5. Anyways, in the process of doing that over and over and over, the thing that just kind of latched onto is that I'm really good at marketing and running ads and drumming up my own business, and more so with the rise of Facebook ads and how they've made things incredibly easy for people that know how to do them and want to invest the time and the research involved with running them correctly. And so I had an e-com business that did really well for 18 months, exited that company, sold that off. I had a software company for real estate, for realtors, that did social media management for them. And I tried to get that lifted off, but that was dependent on Facebook's APIs and all that stuff. And so we had our access suspended due to the Cambridge Analytica stuff, because they suspended everybody's access. And instead of going back and forth with researchers and all that, the thing that I've just always latched back to is just the advertising part of it. And so February of last year, 2019, went full force into the agency stuff, started putting our stuff out there under Andrew Molz Agency, grew from a 4-person team to about a 17-person team right now, and a lot more clients, and rebranded to Monster Agency to pull myself out of the name so much, because too many people want to speak directly with me on the ads that we run and stuff, and to have like a sales team and all that. But that's where we're at now, and that's honestly what I enjoy doing the most. I think if I had like a dream job, it'd probably be doing something on like Saturday Night Live or something. But
right.
For now, this is what I'm doing.
So you were in real estate too before the crash. I didn't even know that. That's and a lot of our target audience. I mean, we have realtors, loan officers. I mean, we also work though in quite a few different sectors. Solar. I mean, you name it. We had to make a lot of obviously changes with the whole COVID stuff. Have you noticed with all the stuff that's going on, cost per click and all of that? Has it gone up? Stayed the same? What have you seen?
Drop in the peak of stuff I feel like March through May, the cost did drop some. More people online, a lot more conversions. I think a lot of people were kind of shoring things up and thinking, oh man, this is about to get really bad. Cut off all ad spend, and then maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks later, everybody's like, oh my God, this is like Black Friday, we're killing it. And then everybody came back into Facebook ads and started running stuff again and doing really well. I've seen it dissipate a little bit. It's got a little bit wonky. July. Really all July was just like hit or miss for clients, especially ones that have historically done well. We've had dips, and a lot of that stuff, we kind of feel like there's an attribution due to the California Consumer Privacy Act, plus the limited data usage pixel stuff that they added on the back end, plus with Q3 entering and exiting Q2, and I mean there's just a number of things you could theorize on, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like just based on everything I've seen, I mean, yeah, you're right. It did seem like it was less earlier in the year, because I noticed when we were running ads, it was lower earlier after all that stuff hit. So, I mean, for anyone that is watching, guys, the website that for Andrew, it's monsteragency.com. And then, of course, Andrew, what's the process like? You guys would kind of go through a strategy call, or how does it work to get started with you guys?
So if you go to the website, you'll have to get a proposal request and submit that information. And once you do, that will get moved over to our team to get on a call and schedule, provided that it's the right fit and that the budget is there. And once that gets moved over to our team, we'll reach out to you. Keith, Katie, Andy, one of them will reach out and we'll schedule a time to talk and go through what a proposal looks like, and then send that proposal over. And then it kind of just goes from there.
Awesome. Well, for anyone that wants to really blow up and differentiate what they're doing, ad creative is pivotal. And Andrew, I do want to ask one last thing. For anyone that runs picture ads versus video, what's the difference? Is video a lot better? Is picture better? What are you noticing?
I'm kind of indifferent on that and let the data talk. So in most cases, what we run is both picture and video for clients, and an ad set, and we let the algorithm determine if it's going to take that 4x5 graphic and deliver that as an impression for somebody that feels like it can convert, or if it's going to play the video. So we'll put both a combination of video and graphics into those ad sets so that we can allow Facebook as many options as possible on our targeted audience and demographic to deliver us that conversion that we're optimizing for. So sometimes it is a picture, surprisingly enough, a graphic. I think sometimes people have an over confidence on video, and they think everything's got to be video. You can do both, but just let Facebook dictate what your results are going to be, and try different new things. Try 15-second videos, try 8-second, try 30-second. Try running them only in story ads to people that are in your middle of your funnel for videos, and making that a story-only piece of creative. That's something that you could probably try out. But yeah, I would try all available placements and options and get creative with it. Maybe make a rectangular kind of graphic and only deliver that graphic in the Facebook desktop right-hand column, so that people only see that there instead of a repurposed asset that doesn't really fit well on that side. I've had clients that we run in-stream videos for on ads, and only that placement only, and that does well. So I think it's really kind of just moving with where the data is and where you're getting good results with, and not having ad envy of other people or what other people are doing. Try everything for yourself and try and figure out what works well for you, and keep gravitating towards where you're getting traction.
Love that. Great advice. Great insight. Thank you so much for jumping on, because I know, traveling, the last thing you probably ever thinking is, I'd be ready for a show. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you jumping on. And again, for everybody who's watching, monsteragency.com. Anything that you want to say to close things out here, Andrew?
No, swing by the website if you feel like you need some good creative. That's what our real specialty is. But other than that, monsteragency.com if you want to swing by. If not, I appreciate you having me on here, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on as well. And guys, for everyone that's watching, see you same channel, same place next week. Thanks, Andrew.
All right, man.
See you, everybody.